Have you ever stopped to think about how emotions can guide our decisions, shape our relationships, and even determine our success in life? It may sound like an exaggeration, but it's not. In fact, what I'm talking about can transform your life in ways you can't even imagine. Emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? First, we need to understand what it really means to be emotionally intelligent. And no, it's not just about controlling emotions. In fact, control isn't the focus here. If I told you that emotional intelligence is more about how you recognize, understand, and handle feelings, that makes more sense, right? Daniel Goleman, one of the leading scholars on this topic, described emotional intelligence as being composed of 5 key skills. Self-awareness, knowing what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. The famous phrase, "know thyself," is the essence of self-awareness. Self-management, knowing how to handle emotions in a healthy way. You know when you manage to stay calm in a situation that would normally make you angry? That's self-management. Motivation, using your emotions to stay motivated and achieve your goals. Empathy, feeling and understanding what others are going through, as if you were in their shoes. Social skills, knowing how to interact, communicate, and manage relationships with others. These 5 areas together create a foundation that can transform the way you view the world and, most importantly, how you deal with it. Why is emotional intelligence so important? You might be asking yourself, okay, I understand what it is, but why does it really matter? Well, let me give you an example. Have you ever been in a work environment, for instance, where a colleague got really upset or anxious over something, and that ended up affecting the entire team? This happens because emotions have that power. They spread. Now imagine how different it would be if, instead of being carried away by anger or anxiety, that person could take a deep breath, process the situation, and respond more calmly and constructively. The truth is, emotional intelligence directly affects how we react to stress, handle conflicts, make decisions, and maintain healthy relationships. Research has shown that people with high emotional intelligence are happier at work, have more fulfilling relationships, and even cope better with health issues because they don't get stuck in cycles of negative emotions. A study by TalentSmart, for example, analyzed over 1 million people and found that 90% of high performers have elevated levels of emotional intelligence. This means that those who stand out in the workplace aren't just the ones with the best academic background or technical skills. In fact, emotional skills are the true differentiator. And it doesn't stop there. This study also showed that people with high emotional intelligence can earn up to $29,000 more per year than those with low emotional intelligence. Yes, emotions affect your wallet too. The relationship between emotions and decisions. One of the most interesting aspects of emotional intelligence is that it helps us make wiser decisions. And why does this happen? Well, did you know that our emotional brain, the part responsible for emotions, is much older than our rational brain? That's why we often react emotionally before we even have a chance to think clearly. Think about the last time you made an impulsive decision, like buying something you didn't need just because you were feeling sad or frustrated. It's more common than you might think. And that's where emotional intelligence comes in. It helps us pause, analyze the situation, and make more balanced decisions, without letting emotions control us. In fact, there's a study by neuroscientist Antonio Damasio that showed people who suffered damage to the part of the brain that controls emotions had trouble making even simple decisions, like what to eat for lunch. That's because emotions play a fundamental role in our ability to choose. So, emotional intelligence isn't about eliminating emotions from the equation, but rather using them to your advantage. When you understand how you're feeling, you can use that information to make more informed choices. If you're nervous before a presentation, for example, that could be a sign that you care about the outcome, and that emotion can be channeled into positive energy, helping you perform at your best. How to increase emotional intelligence. Now that you understand the importance of emotional intelligence, you might be wondering, okay, but how do I develop this in my life? The good news is that, like any skill, emotional intelligence can be trained and improved. Let's look at some practical steps to get you started. Practice self-awareness. The first step is understanding what you're feeling. This can be done through meditation, keeping an emotional journal, or even pausing during critical moments of your day to ask yourself, what am I feeling right now and why? Develop empathy. Make a genuine effort to put yourself in other people's shoes. How might they be feeling? What could be happening in their lives to explain that behavior? Empathy improves how you relate and resolve conflicts. Self-management is key. When you notice you're getting stressed or upset, take a deep breath. Give yourself time to calm down before reacting. There are breathing and mindfulness techniques that can help you regain control in tense moments. Motivate yourself with your own feelings. Instead of letting stress or frustration demotivate you, use those feelings as fuel. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? Great leaders turn difficulties into motivation to go further. Learn to communicate your emotions better. Talking about what you're feeling clearly and directly is an essential step to avoiding misunderstandings. Instead of just exploding in anger, say, I'm frustrated with this situation because. That makes all the difference. How emotional intelligence impacts your relationships. Relationships are undoubtedly one of the biggest challenges when it comes to emotions. Whether with friends, family, or romantic partners, our emotions are always part of interactions. And here's an uncomfortable truth. Most relationship problems occur because we don't know how to deal with emotions, ours and others. For example, have you ever been in a situation where someone exploded in anger and said things they shouldn't, only to regret it later? This happens when emotional intelligence isn't well developed. Healthy relationships depend directly on our ability to control impulses and be empathetic. When you can see the other person's emotions and understand your own, the relationship gains a new dynamic of understanding and respect. Studies show that couples with developed emotional intelligence have longer-lasting, happier relationships. That's because instead of arguing over every little thing, they can recognize what's behind a fight, often fear, insecurity, or daily stress. When we understand emotions, we can resolve problems more peacefully and constructively. Conclusion: how emotional intelligence can change your life. In summary, emotional intelligence isn't just an abstract concept or passing trend. It's real, practical, and can transform every aspect of your life, from your personal relationships to your work performance. Developing this skill puts you at an advantage because you begin to better understand yourself and others, make more accurate decisions, and create deeper, more meaningful connections. Whether at work, school, home, or with friends, emotional intelligence helps you become a more balanced, less reactive, and more empathetic person. In the end, we all seek more happiness and less stress, right? And that's what emotional intelligence can provide. So, how about starting to develop this skill today? If you're committed to your personal development and want to keep evolving and leveling up, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here, I always bring practical and powerful content to help you keep growing. And if this video helped you in any way, make sure to leave a like so that more people can be impacted as well. In the description, you'll find links to books that I've carefully selected, works that can completely transform the way you think and act. It's definitely worth checking out. And don't leave just yet. Take a look at the suggested videos here on the screen. They will help you even more on your personal development journey. See you there.